you've all been waiting for. Please welcome the Pelbros Podcast.
Yo, we're back with another episode of the Pelbros Podcast. No guest this week, just a regular host here. So myself, James, and go with me, Ryan, on the line.
That's me. That's myself. What's going on, mate?
Yeah, not much, mate, but took a longer than a week to release this episode.
Well,
had a few hiccups in our schedule, unfortunately.
No. I'll just say, bro. Like, honestly, listen, guys. Between this episode and the last episode, there was 420. Okay, so fuck off, right? Like, we got things to do too. Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say also you made it up with the extra guest episode.
The guest episode.
One, so
yeah,
kind of made up for it.
Yeah, true. It does balance out. But all I'm saying too is like, yo, you know, it's 420. Like, let the people celebrate here.
Yeah. So bringing in episode 32 now. We're pretty much deep into the NBA schedule, aren't we? Pretty much almost done. Yeah, like 85% done. We were just saying right before we got on started recording that there's only about 10 more games left. You know, playoff hopes looking a bit shaky, so we'll probably discuss that in detail later on.
That's a very kind way of saying it, but yes, continue.
But yeah, Ryan, how's your week been? Like you said, 420.
How's my week been? I'm just saying, man. I was like, what? You trying to seduce me, James, or something? Like, what's going on, bro?
Trying to just fill in time because we know we didn't watch the game, so.
That's fair enough. Because I was gonna say, bro, I would have, because I'm drinking on Sunkist right now. But if I had known that this is the conversation, you know, this is what you're trying to set up tonight, I would have had some red wine.
I was gonna say, you're gonna bring some wine or something.
Yeah, exactly. You know, then we could have had that kind of talk. You know, but
next time.
Yeah.
It's been a while since we've got on the on the drink anyway. So
true. That's true. That's for an episode. We're not implying that we're going to be doing gay shit, but yeah. But it's still. I was gonna say, what about yourself, James? You know.
Yeah, I mean, not much. Been keeping the same, working, hustling, grinding out here in the streets.
Outside,
caught one or two games out here, but. Apart from the actual basketball games itself, quite a lot of actual pointers to chat about over this past week. With, you know, a bunch of news coming out. Like I said, we'll discuss a bit about how we think the playoffs are going to turn out. And aside from that, you know where to find us. Pelbros Podcast on YouTube, at Pelbros on Instagram, pelbrospodcast@gmail.com, all the works. Some exciting stuff coming through. Got a bit of housekeeping we have to do after this episode regarding the podcast, but we won't bore you with those details. Yeah. Aside from that, anything from yourself? Otherwise, we'll just jump right into it.
No, I think. Oh no. All I'll say too is that the last week of games, or pretty much since the last episode that we recorded, I haven't fucking watched shit. So, but. And on top of that too, I haven't been betting on shit too because we just had like a really bad week the week before. So I was like, "Fuck this, bro!" Like,
just listen to episode 30, and you went all over your losing streak. But aside from that, we're looking back at our last episode, episode 30, where we actually predicted the next run of games
correctly.
What can I say? Pelbros is correct, right?
Motherfucking correctly. I just want to say, bro. Let me take the mic for a quick second, right? Tell me. You know, to all you people listening, which other Pelicans podcast be predicting this shit? You know, pretty much accurately on at least like I'd say like what you'd say like 90% of the time we're accurate, right, with our predictions.
Yeah, I reckon 80 to 90%.
Yeah, 80 to 90%, right, and that's pretty fucking good, right? No one else giving you that. Everyone else is just telling you what, you know. Oh my god, what ESPN. You know, the story they want to be selling, or you know what the media is trying to push, But we're telling you, we're keeping it real. We're looking at the facts and giving you guys our calculated decision. And bro, that's like a fucking 80-90%, like on the money. That's pretty fucking good, I reckon.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if you don't know what we're talking about, tune in to the end of our episodes. We usually predict the next lot of games, and like we said, I reckon we're right about that 80 to 90% of times. And even other things that we predict, you know, we talked about the Drew trade, how it probably wouldn't pan out for us. Look where we are now.
Yeah. Where they at?
Then before the season started, we had a prediction that we'd be scraping for the play-in tournament. Copped a bit of hate for that.
Yeah,
Guys,
where
we're
they
pretty
at?
much- we're pretty
Where
much
they at?
Right, most of the time, right? Let's-
Bro, where
let's be
they
honest.
at? Where they at? Like, tell them to meet us, bro. Tell them to meet us, bro. Oh my god, where the
comment
fuck
us.
they at, bro? Where
Comment
they
us
at?
in the
bro?
DMs or
bro.
via email, whatever it is, in real life, whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah, all these guys can do, bro, is just give us a freaking thumbs down on YouTube, right? And it's
We take that personally.
Yeah. Oh my god.
So come meet us down the streets, eh?
Yeah. Like
Um,
what you got? What you got? That's what I'm trying to say. Where they at? They because they ain't here. I don't see him. No more. Talking that fucking shit. Running their fucking mouths. The fuck out of here with that shit.
But yeah, last episode we capped it off at the Washington game. So quite a few games ago, we predicted the next line of 4 games. So against New York, Brooklyn, Orlando, San Antonio. Like we said, we predicted 1 and 3,
and it was spot on.
I think we had a stretch goal of 2 and 2, but we just said flat out, let's be realistic. 1 and 3, the only game we'd take against Orlando, and it was pretty accurate.
Winning by 35 points.
Yeah, just obviously, like we said, we hadn't watched the games, but took an L to New York. I remember we recorded the night before that New York game, and that New York game was like 3 a.m. or something.
Mm-hmm.
And in that episode, we had just shouted out Julius Randle.
Oh, yeah.
And for good reason, right? The man put up 33 points on us, led his team, the New York Knicks, to a win. No surprise there. Anything you want to talk about on this one? Otherwise, we'll just move on to the Brooklyn game.
No, all I'll say is that, if you guys were to rewind back to, I don't know, maybe like Pelbros episode, maybe the 10s, maybe like under 10 or something, right? It's quite an OG episode. Remember that mock draft one we were doing?
Yeah.
Yeah. And basically, I'm pretty sure I had Alfred Payton on my team, but I know for sure I had Julius Randle in my selection, right?
Yeah, you picked him as starting 5, mate.
Yeah. Because then we put that starting 5 on Instagram, bro. I was getting people hating, bro, when I chose Julius Randle. Everyone was like, bro, this is trash. All I say now, bro, is where they at? Where the fuck they at, bro?
It's common theme.
Where they at? And that's the thing. I got fucking proof, my killer. I got fucking proof, all right? Rewind that shit. Like, I got the shit recorded on the motherfucking record of me saying that shit, dated back then, before there was any fucking hype with Julius Randle and shit. And that's what I'm trying to say. We even got proof of us posting on Instagram. And if we need to get those polls up where, there's a majority percentage of people voting for James's squad over mine, you know what I mean? We can dig that up, right? But the thing is, I got evidence, bro, saying that I'm always fucking right. Well, at least 80-90% of the time. So where they at? Don't fuck with me right now. Fucking hell.
No, respect that. Julius Randle is 100% a good pick. Look at where he's at now.
Yeah.
Look at him leading that New York team. If only he could have done that on the Pelicans.
Fucking hell. Why are you gonna say that's a low blow, bro? That's a low blow.
Hey, we're all miserable, right? That's what we're here for. That's what we're here
bro,
for.
I was just fucking like trying to chill, enjoy my day. Like, it's like 8:30 Thursday, and now what? I'm not gonna be able to go to sleep, bro. I'm gonna have to like contemplate again on certain thoughts.
Certain feels or depression.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, no, aside from that, let's just move on to the Brooklyn game.
You actually caught some of this, right?
Yeah, so I managed to catch, I think, the last quarter, maybe a bit more than that. But really, I think last week when we were talking about it, as soon as we got to Brooklyn, we were like, yeah, that's a loss, even without KD and Harden. And look where we at. We definitely took an L there. I just want to say, this game reiterated that stat that I talked about before we started recording. But there's a whole bunch of stats went flying around since we've been taking a lot of losses lately about how the Pelicans have essentially blown a lot of double-digit leads. So I think it's something like they've blown 12 double-digit leads this season, as well as they've lost 9 games or so, potentially even more now when we were up with 3 minutes left to go in the game. And why I bring this up is because I feel like this game kind of epitomized those stats. So I don't know if we were necessarily leading for a lot of this game, but we were neck and neck going into that fourth quarter. And I just want to talk about really quickly the difference in clutchness, right? So again, this is a Brooklyn team without without KD, without Harden. They had Kyrie. But what happened was, when I was watching it, there was about a minute left to go. The score was tied. We had the ball, so we come down, play on offense, and what takes place for the Pels is we pass it to Zion at the top of the key. Zion dribbles it, waste a bunch of seconds. shot clock about to die down. He passes it to this Najee Marshall guy in the corner. He shoots and then he bricks the three. It's like, all right, okay, that's cool. It's still a tight game. So Brooklyn come and take the ball up. They're on offense. The first thing they do is give it to Kyrie. Kyrie plays some ISO, starts dancing around the defender. I think it was on Marshall as well. Bang, goes up, shoots a three, hits it, swish. Perfection. Then we get the ball.
I saw that clip. Yeah.
And then to reply to that, we get the ball. We come up. We do a bit of dribbling. Waste time on the clock. Nothing really happened. No plays. No nothing. Then BI eventually gets the ball, chucks up a pathetic three, brick. And then Brooklyn get the ball back, come down, and then shoot. I think they ran a few plays and then got an easy layup. I think Kyrie hit a 2, and then we're down by I think 5 or 6 by then. So I just want to say that the reason why I bring that up is that epitomizes the unclutchness of our team. In certain situations where when we're tied or the game's neck and neck, other teams, the superstar teams, they have their guy to go to. You got Kyrie, you got Harden. Whether it'd probably be Steph, LeBron, whoever on the other teams, Paul George, Kawhi, and then you got the Pels. You'd think that Zion and you'd hope that Zion and BI would take over and kind of make that clutch play. Unfortunately, they don't, and it ends in a loss. So that's all I wanted to say. I feel like that's like that recaps our whole season, and I guess our whole franchise almost. Apart from that one season that we made the playoffs.
Yeah.
Just to kind of show how unclutch we are.
Wait, I was gonna say, going off of that, I do remember because I did see some of the highlights of that game. I think at that same near the end of the fourth quarter, or at the end of the entire game, I guess. Because you're saying how we fumbled the bag pretty much, right? We're pretty much so unclutch. I think there was a time where Zion literally fumbled the bag where I saw Kyrie just fucking stripped him clean. Did you see that? It wasn't a block. He just stole the fucking ball from him.
Yeah, I think I saw that.
Yeah. I was like, damn, son. And that's what I'm trying to say. That's just another. I'm not too sure that if that was in the fourth quarter now that I think about it, but I have a feeling it was. Either way, bro, this is Zion. He's got monster fucking hands, yeah. And here's this little fucking rat, Kyrie Irving, somehow cleanly just fucking takes it off him. So that's what I'm trying to say, bro.
Yeah, it's really just those moments. I mean, I know turnovers have been probably one of the flaws of Zion games. He got 4 turnovers this game. But I guess it makes sense with the amount that he has to dribble and the amount that he has to play point forward. But again, bro, just if you want to make the playoffs, if you want to set yourself up for success and kind of win, those are the plays, these are the moments that you got to take into your grasp and actually execute on. So yeah, it's unfortunate, but yeah, we'll talk more about that now. I guess our playoff hopes in a second. Yeah.
Moving on to the next game. So next game was the one that we predicted was the only game that we were going to win, and that was versus Orlando. And that's the thing. Obviously, we won by 35 points, 135 to 100. But who gives a fucking shit, guys? It's fucking Orlando. That's why it was so easy for us to predict, because how the fuck are we gonna lose to Orlando? Because the thing is, the only reason we lost to Orlando before, right? And this is after they traded was, how do you say, Vukovic and Aaron Gordon away, right? So they're not as they don't have as much talent as before, right? Or they didn't have the main guys, I guess, right? So the thing is that Nickeil Alexander-Walker was pretty much our main guy, because Zion and BI were both out of injuries, and I think Lonzo too. So that's why we ended up losing. We shouldn't even fucking lost that game, But that's the thing. Now we come with BI and fucking Zion, right? It's kind of how do I say it? You're in the playground or something like that, and you're bullying one kid, and then he comes back and gets his fucking older brother or something like that. It's kind of like that. It's bang. That's what I'm trying to say. So that's what it should have been like. We didn't even need to discuss this, bro. It's just come on, guys. This is a no fucking brainer.
Yeah, 100%. And then moving on to the San Antonio game, again, a prediction we both said Spurs always seem to have our number, apart from maybe one game earlier this season, but they've beaten us in the past for this game and the game before that we met them. I didn't watch this game, but I did see the stats and I guess the fan feedback that came out of it, and it was clear that this game was a massive flaw or deficit of this game was the free throws. So the free throw shooting from the Pelicans, 17 of 32, 53%. That's easy buckets. That's literally free buckets. They called free throws. Not calling anyone out here, but come on,
Yo.
Zion. 7 of 13 from the free throw. Eric Bledsoe, 2 of 5.
Bro,
aren't you a
don't
shooter,
bring
bro?
up. Why are we talking about Eric Bledsoe in this podcast, bro?
Najee Marshall, 1 and 4, mate. Come on, guys. These disgraceful free throws. We only lost by 2. So, if we hit 19 instead of 17, if we hit 25, if we just hit 80% of our free throws, this game probably would have been a whole different story. So, yeah, 100%. This just comes down to poor shooting, not defending DeRozan enough. And,
I was gonna say, like, if anything, it's just every time we verse San Antonio nowadays, like, DeRozan just is coming at us with a vengeance, man.
Yeah, they like we said last time. There's always that one player from the Spurs that just comes out with
cooks us.
Patty Mills, LaMarcus used to do it. It's just ridiculous.
Oh yeah, I guess I don't think me and you have officially give up. Okay, like not RIP, but happy retirement to what's his face, LaMarcus Aldridge.
Yeah, we might have glossed over it before, but
it
sucks to see that it's a health thing. Kind of like that whole Chris Bosh thing. Still had like years to go, and then it just turns out it's like a life-threatening kind of health concern, condition. So yeah, definitely sad to see. I just would have been interested to see what they could have done on that Nets team in the playoffs, like as a full strength team. Obviously, they still have Blake, and it's not like losing LaMarcus. It's gonna like hurt them in any way, but it would have been just interesting to see how that dynamic worked. But yeah, it sucks that he couldn't get. I don't think he ended up with the chip. He bought out for Portland, but they were just never good enough to kind of end up with the championship, nor the Spurs really.
Part of the game. But yeah, going over the next 2 games. So these next 2 games, since the last episode, we didn't actually predict because we thought we were going to record something beforehand, right? But these next games were versus LA Clippers, which is quite interesting because the last episode we actually had our first guest, and it's a mate of mine, Tommy Key, and what's his face? He's actually a Clippers fan. So what are the chances we actually end up versing and we end up beating these motherfuckers? So, that's pretty sick. We beat LA Clippers 120 to 103. And just today, I didn't watch this game, but I already knew the outcome that we were going to fucking lose to Denver 114, 112. Have you watched, or do you have any kind of 2 cents with either of these games?
No, not really. My only 2 cents would be I'm surprised that this Denver game was a lot closer than what I would have expected. I feel like, looking at the regular season, we beat them in the first game of this season, but I feel like the Nuggets always either beat us or just give us so much grief. No surprise really. Jokic went off. What's new?
True that. That is true. I guess all we can really say is just that we somehow won against the Clippers. I'm not too sure. I know Paul George was playing. I'm not too sure if Kawhi was playing, but either way, I'm not complaining. We got a fucking dub, and we need him.
Yeah, no Kawhi. Looks like Paul George is kind of cooled off. I know he went nuclear throughout most of this month, shooting like over 50% from 3 and like scoring 30 plus buckets. But maybe somebody locked him down, but he only scored 9 points, 3 of 11 from the field in this game. So yeah, just didn't turn up just choked as always for this game.
All right. So I guess now let's get into the good stuff, mate. So we're gonna talk about it's more or less the next week of games, but that will kind of start transitioning into like the end. Because there's only 2 weeks left of the NBA, or at least the regular season, isn't it, James?
Yeah, I think it's about 10 games for most teams.
Yeah, so actually at the fucking end here, yeah.
If you're not making the playoffs, then your NBA is going to end in like 2-3 weeks, like you said.
Yeah,
crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, man. I guess we'll save the tears for when it happens. It's not just yet. But who knows? I guess. We'll get more into the details of the play-in tournament thing and our hopes with that. But let's go, because it is quite related to these next few games, but let's just get into it. So we got OKC coming up. That's tomorrow, bro, 11 a.m. I might catch that. Yeah, what the fuck not? Because as if we're going to lose to OKC, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and OKC are just coming off the back of a 14-game lose streak, and then they won it. They beat someone, I think, just today or yesterday.
Yeah, they just beat someone today or yesterday.
But before that, they had been on a massive lose streak. So, I mean, yeah, I'm gonna say let's beat them, or we're gonna beat them. But
wait,
again,
no, it was the Celtics that they won.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
Out of
bro,
all
I love
teams.
that because fucking the Celtics have been just fucking trash this year. All right, so okay, see, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, I wouldn't mind putting that on just because I can see us. I can learn to learn to love again. You know what I mean? Like, I can see our team not fucking it up and actually fucking winning a game. You know what I mean? Like, because my heart can't. Especially we only got like 10 games left, bro. Like, don't fucking play with my heart right now, bro. Like, damn. All right. Anyways, so that's the W from both me and James, right? For that.
Yep.
Then after that, we got Minnesota, right? So, okay. This kind of brings up the stat you were talking about before too, where it's like we've beaten like majority of the like full, you know, contending teams, high seeded teams, but we've lost so many to like the shittest teams in the league.
Yep.
Do you remember the stat I'm talking about? Or?
Yeah. It was like we beat 7 of 8 of the top teams, but we've lost like 10 something games to the worst teams or something like that. It's ridiculous.
And that's the thing. Minnesota, like, Minnesota's chances of getting into the playoffs or play-ins is worse than ours, and we're shit. You know what I mean? So that's the thing. But what you have to watch out with Minnesota, like Minnesota's job nowadays, like for the rest of the season, is just to be a kamikaze. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna take you down with me, kind of situation. So we should be careful about this.
It's mathematically impossible for them, so they're out.
Yeah,
They're out.
exactly. Yeah. However, it doesn't mean that they're not just gonna ball out and try to fucking, you know, get that W. But I will no. See, that's the thing. I don't want to be optimistic here, but fuck it. We're gonna get a W over Minnesota. What do you reckon about that?
Yeah, so I'm gonna go against the grain here. I'm actually gonna say we're gonna lose. So Minnesota have, like I said, they're mathematically out, so they're playing for like nothing. But I believe they have all their players back. So D'Lo, Cat,
I know
back.
D'Lo's been, balling.
Yeah, they've had a pretty messed up season with the whole injuries, and I think there's a bit of COVID situation going on as well.
Yeah.
The reason why is they've won 4 of their past 5, and 2 of those wins include Utah. So they're on a bit of a hot streak.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's true. Uh-oh.
And then they've also beaten us twice this season.
Indeed.
So,
and that's without like the full squad too.
Exactly, which is fucking dumb. The fact that we're losing to Minnesota State. I mean, I still remember last year we talked about this where we lost to them.
Oh my god, yeah.
We were so depressed. We were so depressed that week.
Oh my god.
I think that
like,
kicked off.
It's always Minnesota. It's just like, guys, can't you just let it go? You know what I mean?
I think that kicked off Suicide Week last year.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like I said, we've already lost 2 games to them. We only played them 3 times this year.
Yeah.
So, following trends, following history, statistics, I'm predicting an L.
All right, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, I do. I you know, if anything, you may have even sold it to me to switch sides. However, you know, I will have courage in my Pel brethren's, you know.
Yeah, just quickly before we move on,
Yeah.
I just want to say it's pretty funny because if you're looking at the ESPN like schedule, on the right of it there's like a tickets column.
Yeah.
And like for the Minnesota and New Orleans games, it goes tickets as low as $106. And I'm just thinking in my head, like, who wants to pay $106 to watch these 2 trash teams play? Like tickets versus Golden State is cheaper.
Yeah. Oh, but okay, but okay, well, we're at Minnesota, and then tickets are cheaper. Yeah, the Golden State. Yeah, it's true. The Golden State Warriors one, even though it's at our Smoothie King Center, but is that because, you know, we're one of the lowest market teams? But that's the thing.
Oh, surely Minnesota would be down there as well.
Yeah. Especially because, you know, you got Golden State Warriors, you know, Steph Curry. I'm not. Yeah, because I'm trying to just like give a counter logical kind of reasoning for it. Honestly, yeah, who the fuck is paying $106 fucking bucks? This is US dollars, I'm pretty sure,
ripped
right?
off, mate. Getting ripped off. Yes, you are. Moving on. Like we mentioned, the next 2 games after that would be Golden State back to back, actually, both at Smoothie King Center as well.
Back that ass up.
Yeah, it puts us in a pretty interesting situation. Golden State are currently 9th.
Yeah, shit.
No, they are 10th. They are 10th.
Yeah,
so
it's 10th.
They've got the last play-in spot at the moment, 31 and 31. Obviously, we're 11th, 27th, and 35. So we're 4 games behind.
How the fuck are we in this shitty situation, guys? Far out. You had the whole season to fucking just not fuck up like 4 or 5 games. Oh my god, continue.
Yeah, I've always said must win games.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this shit again.
This is the most must. These 2 games, not even 2 games. There's a later game with Golden State. These 3 games with them are the most must win games we've experienced in a long time. When I say must win, then we have to beat them. But for myself, I'll just quickly share my thoughts. I'm not too hopeful. I know Steph has been on an absolute tear lately. I think he's averaging like 33 points or something, almost leading the league in the past few games. I'm just gonna call 2 losses. Unfortunately, Steph's on. We're not gonna stop Steph. Is all I'll say. Ryan, what are your thoughts?
Whoa. So you're saying then for that next week of games, OKC, Minnesota, and 2 back-to-back Golden State Warrior games, you're saying we're only going to go, you're predicting 1 for 3, and that's 1 win versus OKC, and that's it?
Yeah, mate.
Shit, boy. Well, that's it in, bro. Like, I'm going to have to, fuck's sake. Shit, eh? Like, because it's like, yeah, I really do want to put my hopes and dreams and my money on fucking Pelicans beating Golden State. Fuck it. Like, but that's the thing. Can we win both of them? But that's the thing. If you win one of these guys, like if we win the first one, because this is a back-to-back with Golden State, the same team too. I feel as if whoever wins the first one is going to win the second one too. So
yeah, true. Don't discount. Don't forget our record with back-to-backs though. We're pretty trash. So
yeah, and that's it. Like, and the biggest thing too is Steph Curry is just going to be clutch regardless, right? And just like you said too, like what the Pelicans and what I myself have in common this year is we'd be fumbling in the fucking bag sometimes, So that's it. So I could see it. We fuck it up, especially when you got Zion, Ingram just fucking not knowing what the fuck they're doing, and then what you got? You got Chef Curry cooking it the fuck up from 3. Then. No, fuck you. I'm still gonna go for it. I'm still gonna don't kill my confidence.
Don't let me change your mind, mate.
Yeah.
Back yourself, mate.
Yeah. Because so we got 4 games, but I don't want to be like full saying, "Oh my god, we're gonna get all 4," right? Because I did, right, but you did already sell it to me at the Minnesota. Because that's the thing. I need to kind of like there needs to be 1 L in there because just having all 4s, bro. Like, what am I, like a fucking Pelicans fan virgin or some shit? Like I've never. I've never just predicted games, and I'm just like, oh my god, this is my first time with the Pelicans. It's amazing, and yeah, I'm like, oh, we're gonna win all these games. We just came off like an amazing win versus LA Clippers or something like that. But obviously, being a Pelbro, I'm much more realistic. I'm like, okay, yeah, these guys are fucking retards sometimes. So
go with your gut, mate.
So if you are happy to allow me to switch to Minnesota to an L, then I'll say we're gonna beat Golden State back to back.
Oh, we're gonna beat them on both games.
Yeah.
Damn, son. Yeah, I'm happy to let you switch. I think I had pretty convincing arguments for Minnesota, but damn, I mean, you got a lot of faith in our team, mate.
It's only because too like this is actually like you're saying like the full make or break fucking games, because we're in direct fucking contention versus Golden State. Wait, Golden State I think has the same record as Memphis. Did you say?
Yeah, so they're both on 31 wins, but I think
Golden State probably has more losses.
Yeah, Golden
right?
State's got 1 more loss.
Okay, sweet. So yeah, we're in direct contention for that. That's the thing, not even the fucking playoffs, but for the play-in tournament.
Yeah,
right?
Still got to play more games.
Yeah, and even to be in the play-in tournament itself,
we're struggling.
Yeah, and like for the very, very last person that gets into it, right? The number 10 spot, where fucking so that's in Golden State currently in that number 10 spot. We're sitting at lucky number 11, I guess, but lucky ain't gonna get us into the fucking playoffs. So that's the thing. We need to win these games specifically against Golden State, and because of how important it is, I'm gonna hopefully say that yes, we are gonna win them.
No, fair enough. I think that's a pretty solid argument, to be honest.
Yeah.
And finally,
we'll see in a week's time. We'll see in a week's time.
Yeah, I mean, finally, we may as well go over the next game for the Philly game because that's on a Saturday. So, like, let's assume that we go to like on a Sunday to record as our usual schedule. Playing against Philly at Philadelphia. 3-day break in between that back-to-back. Look, it's Philadelphia. I think Embiid's back and healthy. I'm going to call a loss. So I know that's pretty dark. I'm essentially saying we're going to go 1-4 over the next week and a bit, but this is what happens when you're a Pelicans fan, mate.
Wait, we surprisingly beat Philly the other week, like last week, I think.
Yeah, true. That is a good point.
The only kind of thing, I think this would be too soon to call because we don't know if they're going to start resting players and shit like that by around this time, you know?
Yeah, I have a feeling, I don't know if they will. I think there's a lot of seeding going on because the ladder's quite tight at that top level. But yeah, you could be right. Who knows what's going to happen by then.
Yeah.
But yeah, it could be interesting to see.
Yeah. But if I had to make a decision right now, though, I would probably say, yeah, bro, we ain't going to win that shit.
I mean, life of a Pelicans fan.
Yeah.
All right. But yeah, that covers off the next week and so of games. I think for me, I said 1-4 essentially. You were going with 3-2. Is that right?
Yeah.
But yeah, let's see how it pans out.
But that's the thing. The main thing is that we, as the Pelbros, we have differing opinions when it comes to the most crucial games here, which is those 2 Golden State games, right? You're thinking we're going to cop 2 losses, 2 L's. I'm thinking we're going to hopefully cop 2 dubs, right? So that is actually so pretty much your hopes for us to make it into the play-in tournaments, they're off the table now, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah, honestly, I think they're off the table.
Because that's pretty more or less what you're saying. But continue.
Yeah, 100%. I think they're off the table when we were dropping those games, like against Orlando, losing every game to New York, all those teams, especially those bottom feeder teams, I'd say.
Yeah.
I think there were a few where we were losing to even like OKC early in the season.
Oh no! Don't bring that up.
That shit's so dumb.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, I predicted it before the season that we'd be scraping or fighting for that playing spot. I know a lot of people had high hopes that we'd be around that 7th or 8th position. But yeah, more or less, I think our play-in tournament chances are pretty much gone. We've got to play Golden State 3 times. That's going to be must win games. But Steph's been on a tear. We never match up well against Golden State. And then we actually have a game against Memphis. And they are actually also in contention right now. So I guess for them, it's a must-win game. And I can't say our schedule's like easy. It's not. I wouldn't say it's particularly hard. But then we've got other games like Dallas, LA, Charlotte, who are also playing really well this season. Yeah, it's a tough thinking schedule. I just want to say, from my thoughts, I think our play-in tournaments hopes are gone.
Shit, boy. Well, I guess my kind of thing is that only because I would like us to get into the play-in tournaments by some fucking miracle. That's the only reason like the only way that can actually happen is you have to win those games versus Golden State. Because of that, that's more or less why I'm like, yeah, fuck it, we're gonna win those games. But that's the thing, man. We actually have from this episode to the next episode, we'll pretty much know if we're gonna be in the play-ins or not, right?
Yeah, we'll either be crying or celebrating.
Yo, shit, yeah, all hyped. So, yeah, that's pretty crazy. Yeah, because that's it. It is crazy that we don't have too many games left. Because after that week, it's pretty much just one more week after that. Eh? Yeah, what the hell.
Yeah, and who knows what's gonna happen? But definitely up and down year.
Yeah.
Especially with the whole season and even with the podcast and the episodes. But yeah, let's just see where we end up next week. We could be extended for another 2 weeks or so, depending on our playoff hopes. But yeah, we'll review where we go from there.
Very interesting. Yeah. Do we have anything? Oh, I mean, I was gonna say we could make a quick few shout outs and stuff across the league. I believe you have some information. I got some information too.
Shout outs, you mean just like the news that we're talking about?
Yeah, a bit of the news or anything else.
Yeah. So well, I guess we'll cover some of the news and recap some of the stuff that's come up in the past, I guess, week or 2 weeks or so. I'll kick it off with all that talk about Drew. So my shout out can go to Drew.
Yeah,
I didn't actually have a shout out planned, and we haven't won many games, so yeah, no one to really shout out. What I want to bring up, Drew, is that I guess news recently, or maybe not recently, but in the past couple of weeks or so, has broken that Drew actually requested a trade out of New Orleans. So yeah, none of us really knew that. It was kind of done quietly under the table, you could say. He spoke to David Griffin, or the franchise, the organization, privately about it, and just kind of said that he wanted to win. It's not that he didn't see us getting there, but the fact that he's 30 and really we're building, I guess, in the next 4 to 5 years, he just said that simply he didn't fit the timeline. Wanted to go somewhere where he could feel like he could really contribute, get deep into the playoffs and really fight for the chip. And yeah, it ended up working out, I guess, for him mostly. He ended up in the destination that he preferred or wanted to, with him ended up in Milwaukee. But yeah, I'll kick it over to you, Ryan. What are your thoughts on this? Any bad blood for Drew in this situation?
No, no bad blood, but I guess if anything, it's just like we can't necessarily like criticize, I guess, David Griffin or like the NOLA front office, I guess, in terms of like the trade, because how like who were we to blame in terms of like, okay, this was actually a shit trade for us, right? Because that's the thing, Drew was the one that wanted it, you know what I mean? So maybe they were just trying to give what Drew wanted to the best of his ability and to what they could do for the best for their team, although it didn't maybe turn out as everyone had hoped. But still, like, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, I don't want to blame Drew because I love Drew,
Yeah, 100%. I think that's a good point. And really, I think the way it all went about was super professional. Obviously, as Pels fans, we're all scarred. We're all comparing it to, who and the experience with AD, making a whole frenzy out of it, being a little bitch about it, wanting to go to LA.
Running his mouth.
Yes. Just wanting to suck up to LeBron, who helped him get a chip and all that bullshit. But yeah, overall, we've been scarred by that. So knowing this, I know there's not a lot of bad blood at all for Drew, and I know a lot of fans share that same feeling and thought. And not even with AD, even you look at JJ, right? He's kind of left on a sour note.
Yeah, it's true.
So it's kind of good to see that it all worked out for a guy who's been a super professional. He's hasn't complained while he's been here. He hasn't complained that we haven't been winning or anything. He's just been playing his heart out, balling, hustling for us, and yeah, I guess that's why he's my favorite player. So definitely, yeah, shout out to Drew. And we recently posted on our Instagram him dunking all over Bismack. Is that Bismack Biyombo? So yeah, huge shout out. It's getting a lot of love. I think there's still a lot of fans out there that have the Drew feels, still missing him, man.
Mate, it's impossible to hate the guy. Like,
yeah,
how can you hate Drew? That's all I can say, right? Like, Drew is like probably the most unhateable player there is, I believe.
Yeah, and it's funny because he's getting so much love at Milwaukee, or now that he's on Milwaukee, especially by like the general NBA fan. So it's I love to see it because he's deserved this praise. But it's so funny when he was in a smaller market. Where was all that? Where was all that love and fandom?
True. It weren't there. That's for sure. I'll say the only other kind of news that I wanted to bring up. It's quite interesting actually, because I had told James like just last week or the week before that. Basically, how the story goes down. I was on Instagram chilling, and then I saw some. I hate to say it, but some. What's the nicest way to say it? Some lovely females, they were just at some kind of NBL game in Sydney. So NBL is like the Aussie NBA, so like the Aussie, it was National Basketball League, I believe, right?
Yep.
And that was the one that what's his face LaMelo was in, right?
Yep.
Illawarra Hawks. So we actually have a team here in Sydney. Me or James, as of right now, don't follow it, so don't think we're experts or anything. But the team that we have in Sydney, or like the main team, I guess, is Sydney Kings, and who has actually been like playing and actually been going off for Sydney Kings recently. And we've actually been talking about this guy for the past year or two, or however long we've been in conception, I guess. I'll try to say his full name, but it's Didi Luzauda from memory, I believe. But I know it's Didi for sure. And Didi Luzauda, whatever bullshit. Some guy from Brazil, right? And he got like drafted by the Pels, I think, 2 seasons ago. Was it, James? You remember?
Yeah, it would have been around that time. It's been a while since it's been NBL now.
Yeah, so yeah, he had just been playing the NBL for us. And that's the thing. Going back to that, like the female story, basically, they were actually at the Sydney Kings game, right? And then there was actually like a snap where the chick had like tagged like at deeeeep is going off, or some shit like that. I was like, wait, what the fuck? My deeeeep? You know what I mean? And then that's when I took that as offensive, bro. I was like, who the fuck is this woman fucking, going to this fucking to this basketball game, right? And taking taking pictures and videos of like, technically one of my Pelbros, I guess, right? So that's why I was just like, okay, yo, I hit up James. I was like, dude, we should hit up freaking one of the Kings game. We should hit up one of these Sydney Kings games, so we can actually see deeeeep live in action, and we could give like that as like a nice little field report, because you guys in America, you guys in everywhere else in the fucking world actually can't see that, but we can do that. It's actually right down our doorstep, right? We could just give a proper Pelbro, like a Pelbro exclusive of like, yo, imagine if we got him on the podcast and shit,
This is what we should have been trying to do, eh? This whole
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, true. Making connections like that. But either way, still, I'm saying like it would be interesting. However, that's the thing. As I had brought that up to James just like 2 weeks ago, I seen some shit the past couple of days that I think he's gotten signed with us now with the Pelicans. So I don't know if he's actually moved back to the States and he's actually going to start playing for us this season. What do you think, James?
Yeah. So looks like he's been signed to an extra, I think, 2 years or so, or multi-year for now. Just with the timing, I'm not sure that he'll end up coming right into the team. Yeah, it seems like an odd timing to suddenly just bring a player in. But if anything, I think he'll be there for start of next season. Potentially on a bench role, maybe even starting, depending on what the situation with Bledsoe is. But yeah, just really excited to see how it goes. And it was a good idea that you mentioned, and it's a shame that we didn't actually get around to doing it earlier.
No,
it would have been actually really good to see him.
I was gonna say though, because that deal, because you said it's like a 2-year thing, it could just be the same kind of situation he's already got going on in terms of like he's just gonna keep on kicking it here in Australia, and then like you said, after this season they'll actually fly him back out there, and then he'll train with the team, and then potentially get some minutes. But like you get what I mean, right?
Yeah. So I'm just looking at a tweet / update. So it looks like they actually want to get him in. He's actually over in the States, but they're just finalizing some visa stuff before they can actually bring him in to start playing.
Yeah, because I was just gonna say too, bro, with the timing of it and shit, like, like, dude, a bit late, don't you reckon?
Yeah, well, the picture that I was looking at was like him with David Griffin, so I was thinking, well, that means he's in the States, right?
Yeah,
and no way that he'd be flying back and then suddenly like trying to play games again. So yeah, it looks like he's over there. He's cleared quarantine, it says. And yeah, they're just waiting on some visa before I guess they can officially let him start playing. It looks like I don't want to say desperate, but looks like we're desperate to change things up or find the winning formula. And if that includes changing what we have at the moment, bringing deeeeep in, who's got professional experience now that he's played in the NBL, who knows? Excited to see what happens.
But that's so crazy. Like, think about how much this guy's life has like changed in the past like just 2 weeks.
Yeah,
and that's the thing, because he may have actually just gotten subbed back on because I'm assuming that he has been killing it for us, like for the Sydney Kings and shit, right? So, because why else would this like female be freaking tagging at deeeeep? Oh my god, you know what I mean? Unless obviously there was some hype behind him and shit.
Yeah, I mean there would be, with everyone knowing that he was drafted with the Pels, and at some point, at any point, he would expect to be back there. I think these year or 2 years or whatever it is has been purely like development. So drafting him obviously probably just too raw for the basketball for NBA. Sorry, send him overseas like the NBL, let him play over here. Sorry, and get that professional experience against slightly worse competition, but still professional league.
Yeah, boy.
So congrats to him. Huge, like you said, change to his life or upgrade, especially better than Australia, mate. But yeah, excited to see how it goes.
All right, fuck it. I reckon let's wrap this show up then, eh?
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. We covered off most things. But yeah, if you enjoy listening to that, let us know. Reach out to us. Hit us up on YouTube. Still getting a lot of love on our YouTube channels, I'd say.
Yeah, almost at 200 subs.
Yeah. So definitely join. Become one of the early birds. The next 200, and then hopefully from there we'll hit the next few milestones.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe some prizes going out. Maybe some cash prizes, or maybe some crypto prizes, because I know that's what these guys like.
Damn,
TikTok so. Prizes, lollies. Who knows? Could even be prizes of your mind. You know?
What does that even mean, mate?
It's up to you what you want it to mean. But anyways, me and James, like we were saying at the beginning, we're gonna start popping open this bottle of wine. James is gonna start seducing me. We'll put some slow jams on, light the candles a bit, and relax a bit. So
way too intimate, mate.
Yeah, no, I'm joking. Like, that's not happening at all. Like,
next time, mate. Next time.
Yeah. I'm just telling you guys my fantasy. Yeah. When I was actually gone, James, in the re-education camp, that was like my recurring dream, bro. Yeah. All right. Anyways, so make sure you following us, guys. Yeah, Pelbros Podcast on YouTube, at Pelbros on Instagram. If you guys want to hit us up, pelbrospodcast@gmail.com too. And yeah.
Yeah, all good. Thanks for listening.